Hello, today we are going to be classifying quadrilaterals. So we know a quadrilateral is a special shape that has four sides. So here's an example of a quadrilateral and it has four sides. We're going to be looking at special quadrilaterals today and talking about their attributes. So let's first look at these two quadrilaterals. These quadrilaterals have one pair of parallel sides. So in this quadrilateral, this side and this side are parallel to each other. The other sides are not parallel on this shape. If these sides keep going, we would see that they would eventually meet and cross and make kind of like a triangle. On this shape here, we also have only one pair of parallel sides. This trapezoid also makes a right corner, has a right angle, a 90-degree angle here. But these two sides are not parallel, as this one, if it were to keep going, they would also eventually cross. And these two shapes are called trapezoids, and they are also in the family of quadrilaterals because they also have four sides. Here is another type of quadrilateral. We see that it does have four sides. This special quadrilateral is called a parallelogram. And what makes this a parallelogram is that it has two pairs of parallel sides. So in this shape, opposite sides are equal length. This line is parallel to this line, and these two lines are parallel to each other as well. That is why it is called a parallelogram. And down here, we have another type of parallelogram. This is also a rectangle. And what makes this a rectangle is it has those right angles or 90-degree angles. So it is slightly different than a parallelogram because of these right angles. That's what makes it a rectangle, because of those right angles. But it also is a parallelogram because it has two pairs of parallel sides, just like a parallelogram. So we can classify this as a parallelogram and a rectangle. And then down here we have a special type of shape that is also a quadrilateral, and it has some special characteristics. This, you may already know, is a square. And what makes this a square is that the opposite sides are, well, actually, all of the sides of a square are equal. So they are all equal sides. That's what makes it a square. A square is also a rectangle because it has right angles. So a square can also be defined and named as a rectangle. It's a special type of rectangle. A square is also, it has the same attributes as a parallelogram in that the opposite sides are parallel. So these two sides are parallel and these two sides are parallel to each other. So that is some of the attributes that we see in a square. And another shape we have here is very similar to a square. Some kids get these sometimes confused. But what's different about this shape here is that it does not have right angles or 90-degree angles like a square does. So it does not have those right angles, but it is similar to a square because the opposite sides, well, actually, sorry, all of the sides of this shape are equal. And this shape is called a rhombus. So a rhombus is similar to a square in that all the sides are equal lengths, but it is different than a square because it does not have those right angles like a square has. A rhombus is also a parallelogram because the opposite sides are parallel to each other. So there's lots of ways that we can describe all of these shapes so far. Our last shape we're going to look at today is also a quadrilateral. Four sides, and this shape is called a kite. And a kite is a special type of quadrilateral where the adjacent sides are equal. So we have these two sides equal in length to each other, and these two adjacent sides are equal in length to each other. And so that is what makes a kite a unique type of quadrilateral, because it has these adjacent sides that have equal lengths. And that's what makes it a kite and also a quadrilateral. So we see here that we have a lot of different types of quadrilaterals or four-sided shapes, and they all have special characteristics and attributes.